A very important part of health and safety on the work site is having an emergency plan. Now that simply means, what are you going to do if something goes wrong? So in your work kit folder, this covers things like what to do in the case of an accident, in the case of a fire, if you have to evacuate. Now, important thing to remember here, if you're working on a commercial site, ignore the plan in your kit. The evacuation or emergency plan for that site will take precedence over anyone that you might have. If, however, you're working on a residential site, it's not likely that they've got an emergency plan of this sort in place. So use the emergency plan in here if you have an event that you need to respond to when you're on a residential site. Or if you're on a commercial site where they've neglected their responsibilities and don't have an emergency plan of their own. The other thing you might need to plan for in an emergency plan is if you're going to engage in activities that we might say are at the higher risk end of activities. For example, if you're going to be working at height, or if you're going to be working alone. Those are things that you need to prepare for in case something goes wrong. What are you going to do if something goes wrong in those circumstances? But you need to have an emergency plan for specific situations like that as well.